What is up, Joe Mamas and Joe Daddies? On this episode of Windy City Joes, we have a very, very incredible guest. You may know him because his name's similar to a very popular liquor here in the city. Get it?
Yeah.
Because Jameson?
Yeah, Jameson Rodgers is the guest today. I got it.
But he's cooler than the bottle of Jameson because he's the human and he performs. And we think you'll enjoy this episode.
Yeah, this is going to be a great episode. If you enjoy this episode, you're definitely going to enjoy his concert on February 17th.
We talked about dogs.
We talked about dogs. We talked about good dogs, to be specifically.
Right. Nobody likes bad dogs.
No.
I mean, we like all dogs.
Yeah, all dogs are great, unless they're bad.
Anyways, enjoy the episode.
Yeah, enjoy the episode.
Jameson's the man. We're looking forward to seeing him perform live. And I forgot to ask him who's going to win the Super Bowl. Damn it. I'm never drinking again. Put a hurting on my credit card. I must have bought tequila shots for everybody at the bar. Well, I finally learned my lesson. Seen the neon light on Sunday morning. Save no more Saturday nights. I made it this time, at least until next weekend. I swear I'm never drinking again. Do you, and I know this is like kind of a hard hitting question to start off the bat, but do you think you have helped produce like one of the greatest beer songs of all time in the country music industry with Cold Beer Calling My Name?
I don't know, man. Definitely not one of the greatest of all time. I mean, it's country music was built on beer songs. You know what I mean? So I'm just happy to have just one little spot, one little slot for a beer song in the country music history, I guess.
I know that this is like kind of just tough question, but the top of your head, like what are your top 3 favorite beer and or just drinking songs of country music that's out there?
Oh gosh.
I know, I'm sorry.
Oh man. Beer songs. I mean, is Friends in Low Places considered a beer song or no?
It's at least a drinking song.
Yeah.
Because I have spent many a nights drinking to that song.
Right, exactly. So, I mean, that's like the first memory of a song of my life. Like I remember, that's like the first song I remember at like 4 years old. Dude, I'm the worst at like thinking of songs. Like, gosh, I'm so bad at it.
That's fine. We're the worst at thinking of anything, so it's all right.
I'll think on it the rest of the podcast. And
no, that's totally fine. What's the earliest you've had to get up for an interview?
Man, I mean, nothing insane. I haven't done like a late night show. I hear that's like 3-4 a.m. But yeah, like if you go up to New York or something or LA for like one of the late night shows, you know what I mean, like Kimmel or something. I think you have to get up at like 3 a.m. But I've never done that, so it's been like, I don't know, 7 a.m. or something. Nothing crazy. I get up early anyway, so it doesn't really bother me.
Fun fact, this is the earliest we've gotten up for an interview in a while.
It is.
Really?
It is, but I feel a little bit professional by it.
Yeah, I was like, I woke up early. I was like, this whole day's ahead of me. I don't even, by noon, I'm going to be like, I'm out of shit to do.
No, man, it's so weird. I think I get that from my mom. My mom gets up at 5 a.m. and I can stay up and hang out all night till 3-4 a.m. and I just cannot sleep. If the sun comes up, I'm just like, nope, you got to get up. So that's a terrible trait to have once you get older.
What's your what's your morning like routine and or your go-to? Like, do you drink black coffee? Do you add a little creamer in there? Do you just do Red Bulls like this freaking guy who's insane?
Yeah, I just shotgun him in the morning. That's the only way to do it.
Man, I bounce back and forth. I love coffee so much, but I can't hardly drink it anymore. I'm getting old, dude. I'm 34, but if I drink half a cup of coffee right now, heartburn all day. I'm just no. It's just the worst. So right now, I follow The Rock. Do y'all follow The Rock on Instagram?
Oh, yeah.
he's been posting these Zoas or whatever. So I'm on the Zoa train, dude. I'm on the rock train right now, drinking the Zoas.
You also on the Terramana train?
I have not tried Terramana yet. I have not, but I need to.
So other than beer, what's your go-to drink? Like, do you drink like whiskey, vodka, whatever? What is it?
Definitely not vodka. I hadn't had vodka since college. That was a bad experience. But I just like some simple whiskey or tequila. I like Patron or Casamigos, any kind of clear tequila or Jack and Coke, Jack on the rocks, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Out of all the people you've like either written with and or performed with, which individual comes to mind when it comes to like just downing beers and or alcohol in general? And you're just like, how are you still alive and functioning?
Meaning people that you might know or people you don't know?
Do one of each.
My buddy Jake Mitchell, he's a songwriter. He writes a ton of stuff with me and a bunch of people in town. He can go way past the point of rescue. At least on my end, I'm just like, man, I would be way tapped out. But he's a champ. Man, artist wise, I mean, Combs can drink beer, man. He can drink a bunch of beer and not even seem fazed by it. But yeah, I guess I'll say Luke. Yeah.
He was at the United Center here in Chicago, and like I don't know if it went viral. I mean, it had thousands and thousands of views because it's fucking Luke Combs. But he shotgunned a beer, and it seemed like it took him like 2 seconds. Like it was.
Dude, my biggest fear the whole time that cold beer was going up the charts was that we were going to be at the same place, same time, or something, and somebody was going to, make a shotgun together, and I was just like, God, dude, I hope that never. It's going to be an embarrassing defeat on my part, just because. He's like the world champ on that stuff. You know what I mean? It's like he downs a beer in like 1 second.
So speaking of Luke, like what was it like getting him on like Cold Beer Call My Name? Like, did you go out to him to reach, or is that like just through management and agencies and like, hey, see if Luke likes his song and or lyrics? Like, how did that process work?
Yeah, man. So me and Luke, we met back in 2016 and just became buddies. And he had like the same lady that signed him to his record deal signed me to mine. And so we had that connection, but we were friends way before that. And I knew he knew Cold Beer Call My Name. I knew he had the demo because he had mentioned like, man, that's a cool song, whatever, before I even cut it. And I went in the studio to cut it. No intentions of him ever singing on it. When I wrote it, recorded it, no intentions. And then around the same time as I was in the studio, he hit me up and was like, man, I'm going on this tour. This would have been in 2018 that he's hitting me up because the tour was in 2019. Anyway, I'm rambling, but he was like, man, come out, be the first of 3 on this tour. I was like, hell yes, that's awesome. Also, you've already thrown me that bone. How about you sing on the song with me too? You hadn't done enough for me yet.
Right.
It was just a simple text too. I was like, man, it'd be sick if you sang the second verse on Cold Beer Calling My Name. He was like, dude, I'm in. It was literally that easy and that simple. And I was surprised honestly that he said yes, just because he never does that. You never see him featured on stuff.
That's true, man. That's just a cool thing. Like, I'll text my buddy Luke Combs,
Yeah. Well, I mean, at the time too, he wasn't entertainer of the year status. You know what I mean? This was probably spring 2018. So he was 2 or 3 hits in, but he wasn't on the moon like he is now.
Speaking of Luke and just I guess music in general, not a good segue, but that's fine. When it comes to lyricism, his lyrics are insane, as are yours. But when it comes to just writing a song to perfection, what artist comes to mind in your head?
I'd say current artists, probably Church. His stuff is the reason I moved to Nashville. You know what I mean? And then, back in the day, I feel like, there was just so many 90s artists that, every Garth song I feel like is just freaking awesome. And then, Hank Jr. I feel like was awesome. Like one of the best songwriters ever, probably in my opinion, as like an artist songwriter. I'd say all those.
Who would you say are some of, like, when you were first starting out, some of your biggest inspirations into getting into music?
Yeah, like I was saying earlier, like Garth is the first memory I have of music. I went and saw him at the Pyramid in Memphis, Tennessee, when the Pyramid was still a venue. Now it's a Bass Pro Shop. Kind of sad. But,
R.I.P.
Yeah, right. But yeah, I was born in '87, and so about like, early mid '90s when I was kind of hearing music for the first time. That was one of the best eras of country music ever. You know what I mean? So all of that '90s stuff, and then I played baseball for forever, and they'd always play like that classic rock, just American rock and roll kind of stuff, at baseball games. So I love all that stuff. Mellencamp, Petty, that kind of stuff, and Eagles, love the Eagles. Just that whole era too, Creedence. And then, like I said a while ago, like when I never even picked the guitar up until I was in college.
Damn.
And when I picked the guitar up is when Eric Church dropped Sinners Like Me. And so I was like, oh, I didn't realize that's a lane you could do. Like it seemed like he was writing songs for dudes in a way. I remember going to his shows in Oxford, Mississippi. The first show I ever went and saw him, it was 30 people there, and it was like 28 dudes. So you know what I mean? It was just like it was like he was writing songs for us, and so I don't know, it just really inspired me, and so I just started kind of trying to write songs like that. And I'll be damned if I'm 34 years old and still doing it now. It's crazy.
Yeah.
We were talking about Jake Mitchell earlier, and he was one of the writers on Some Girls with Hardy, and I think it was CJ Solar. Am I saying that right?
Yeah.
So can you take us back to like that day and time? Because I know the song existed for years as a demo, and just how it came to you, and then you're like, fuck it, like I'm gonna cut it.
Man, that song, it's got a crazy story, and I don't know if you want the whole entire story.
Give it to me.
All right, I'll give you the whole story. It's great. I don't even know if I've ever told the whole story to anybody, but so me and Jake, Hardy, CJ, a bunch of us came up together, right? Moved to town around the same time. None of us had anything going on for years, and we would always go over to like CJ's house. He'd always he had a deck, and we'd sit out there, and we'd go over there like every weekend, and we'd sit around and play new songs that we wrote that week or whatever. And that was a song that I heard just back then when none of us had anything going on. None of us had ever had a cut. None of us even sniffing a record deal. And I just always told him, I was like, dude, that is a hit song. Like, how is no one cutting this? And, Nashville's weird, man. If you don't have any momentum going and, you're young, you need one big break or whatever. And so Hardy he was the first one to kind of get a cut or two, and then the rest of us kind of followed. But back then, I think Chris Lane held Some Girls for a while, passed on it, and maybe a few others. I can't remember exactly who, but anyway, I didn't have a record deal, and I had interest, right? You could feel one getting close. And so I just asked him, I was like, man, no one had it on hold. And so I was like, can I just cut this thing? I feel like it'll help me get a record deal, and it'll probably be like if I get a record deal, it's gonna be the first single. So of course, Hardy and Jake and them, they were totally cool. And dude, like 3 weeks, like I had cut the song. It's coming out in like 3 weeks. Well, this publishing company that CJ and Jake wrote for had a new employee coming in. He didn't know the whole story, so he pitched it to Cole Swindell.
Oh.
Well, Cole likes it, of course. Of course, my freaking luck, Cole. So it's like this big thing. It's just like, and I mean, Hardy and them they wanted me to cut it, but like I felt bad, like, because like the publishers, you could tell were just like, man, we kind of want Swindell to cut this, because the Swindell's a big, I mean, as they should. I mean, I didn't even have a record deal, and so anyway, it was messy. It was messy for a little while, and not with the writers, just with like publishers, but come to find out, it was just like a lot of noise, right? Cole heard it and liked it. It wasn't like, dude, I have to have this song kind of thing. It was just like, I don't know. It's a lot of layers to it that I'm not going to get into. But anyway, it was, I'll just say it was messy for a minute, but it all worked out, I guess. It's all good now.
I mean, yeah, it was a number one. It like got you everything like that I would say that you were hoping for at the time.
Yeah.
And, like the song's a freaking banger, and it's almost what Church did. Like it's a song for dudes about girls that just, almost drive you crazy a little bit, but
Absolutely.
In a good way and bad way. Speaking of, like, what does that song mean to you and like as the artist? And I don't mean like, I guess what does it mean for you in your career, but as an artist, and like when you hear it and listen to it, like what emotions do you feel, and like what do you want your audience to feel as well when they listen to that song?
Well, I mean, I think, every dude has girls of the past that kind of messed them up for a little while, you know what I mean? And so,
right.
I don't know. I knew when I heard the song, like, if I've lived through some tough breakups, I'm sure you have, y'all have, and everybody else has. And so, I don't know. It's just, is it about a specific girl? Maybe, maybe not. You know what I mean? There's parts in there, different pieces from maybe a few different things. But yeah, I mean, I related to it so well that I knew everybody else would, and so clearly they have. So it's been all good.
When you did finally cut it, were there like any small lyrics that you did make changes to for it, or did you just leave it?
I don't think so. I don't think I changed a single thing about it, really.
Gotcha, man.
I mean, I had that demo in my truck for at least 2 years, like, you know what I mean? So it would have been very difficult for somebody to try to get me to change anything after I've been listening to it that long.
Right. That's insane. Like the timeline on songs is just, you don't, like as a fan, it's not like how can that banger just be sitting on the shelf for a while, and then it's like
it makes you
do it myself.
It makes you wonder how many. I mean, there's just no telling how many songs that'll just never see the light of day that are hit songs.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Jeffrey Steele told me he went on a streak where like every song that he was getting cut was like the average age of it was 7 years old.
Oh my God.
I was just like, what? That's just, I mean, it's just insane.
Jesus.
That's crazy.
7 years old?
I know. I don't know if it's because, radio, it just takes a while. Like just the radio charts, the way it's set up, it just takes forever for a song to get up the charts, unless you're one of 3 or 4 artists right now. So it just, I don't know.
You wrote another song that in a way is very cool and heartbreaking, and I only cried 3 times listening to it. What was the process? What was the process of writing Good Dogs?
Oh man, that one, we were on a writing retreat. I go to this cabin every year, first week of January. I take take some writers up to this cabin. We've been doing it for 3 or 4 years now, and pretty much like three-fourths of my album comes from that cabin. And I was writing with Hunter Phelps, Brent Anderson, and Jake. And Hunter had just gotten a new dog, and it was like when we go to the cabin, we write literally all day and night. And so this was like a late night. This was probably at midnight, 1 a.m, just sitting around drinking a little bit. And Hunter was like, I have this idea. It's like good dogs don't live long enough, because he had just gotten a brand new dog and didn't know how to write it without it just being just the saddest song of all time, which it still may be. It still may be, but I don't know. I remember, for whatever reason, just saying, like, what if you wrote it? Like, what if you write it about, good buddies and good trucks and a good woman kind of thing, and tie all that with it. And man, the only thing I remember about it came pretty fast. It was probably a couple hour write, but I just remember like everybody was having to walk outside and clear the eyes every half hour on that one. It was just tugging at the heartstrings the whole time.
I mean, like, first, my great grandma said, or she would have this, not system, but pretty much if someone came over to her house and they didn't pet her dogs or show them love, they were never invited back.
Right.
And so like her saying was like, never trust anybody that doesn't pet and or love a dog. And I would say like that saying's pretty spot on. I'm sure there's people that are great people and they're allergic to dogs and whatever. I don't need to hear it. I get it. But yeah, writing a song is about dogs and just like the love for them is spot on. Chef's kiss. Beautiful.
Oh yeah. I appreciate it. Every time I play that song live, there's always a couple people like in the front row, just full on tears. And I'm just like, I don't know if I'm just torn. I'm just like, damn, I mean, I wrote a good enough song to make somebody cry. That's cool. But like, did I ruin their Friday night? Should I not play this song? I don't know. Like I don't know.
What are like the top 3 things that you need to bring to that cabin adventure?
Oh man, just a lot of liquid, a lot of booze, I guess. Really, dude, the best thing about that cabin is there's literally nothing to do besides write. Like it barely has Wi-Fi.
Nice.
You can't. It looks over a lake, but you can't get down to the water. And so it's just literally nothing to do there except write. But I mean, my publisher goes up there and cooks for us while we write. So he cooks a couple meals a day and just brings some guitars, some booze, and some good ideas.
Publishers though. In-house chef too. That's not a bad deal.
Yeah, that's not a bad deal at all.
They wear a lot of hats,
Yeah. So I know we only have you for a set amount of time today, but there is you're playing in Chicago. Have you been to Chicago before?
Oh yeah, one of my favorite cities to play. I haven't been there since pre-pandemic, so
yeah,
crazy.
So, what's your favorite thing to do when you are in Chicago?
Oh man. Well, I've never done like the touristy stuff.
That's okay. It's overrated.
You don't need to.
Yeah.
Like you don't need to see the big shiny silver bean. It's a big shiny silver bean. Like you're not missing much.
And in fact, that's probably how COVID got started.
Yeah, everyone touched it, and they're
it.
like, "Oh my god, I need to touch it for the gram."
Oh my god, that's how I am with like Broadway, Nashville. People are like, "What bar do I need to go to?" I'm just like, I don't know. I don't go down there. It's a madhouse. But I mean, my favorite place is Joe's on Weed. Like literally. I mean, it's like my favorite club to play in the country. So and Ed takes so good care of us, and the pizza there is phenomenal. So
I feel like the pizza is very underrated there.
Yeah, every time I've had pizza there, it's been freaking fire.
Oh, that's amazing. So you're playing Thursday, February 17th. Tickets are available at Joe's Bar. talk to your fans. They want to hear from you, not me. So what do you want to tell them about this concert coming up and what you're looking forward to?
Well, I was actually looking through pictures the other day. Like one of my first shows with like music out and a booking agency was me opening up for Old Dominion there in like 2016. So it's a special place to me. It'll be a special show, and it's one of the first shows back for me and the guys since Christmas. So new set, new show, be fun.
That's awesome. We're really looking forward to it.
Yeah, we're looking forward to you coming in the city, man. Cold Beer Calling My Name tour. Can't wait to have you in the city, and we'll be there, and it'll be awesome to meet you.
I appreciate it, man. Looking forward to meeting you guys in person, and appreciate y'all having me.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Thank you, man. Anytime.
All right, man. We'll see y'all next week.
Yeah,
All right,
take
see you
care.
next week.
By the